Hey everybody, it's Willa Ball with Step One HR Consulting. And I don't know about you, but I have a teenager who is preparing to enter the workforce, and man, is he not prepared. So I just left actually a high school session all morning this morning where I spoke to multiple seniors leaving high school to go to college, to go into the workforce, to go into the military. And my purpose this morning was to talk to them about resume skills, interviewing techniques, personal brand and image to help prepare them. But as parents and guardians of students, teenagers that are going into the workforce during high school or transitioning into the workforce, there's some really key things that are not very intuitive that your student's child will not understand or could have questions about. And so I'm going to give you as parents and guardians some tips today on how to get them through the process successfully. First of all, it's a highly competitive job market right now. Unemployment is at its all-time low. People who want to be working are working. And so there are very few jobs to be had. Typically there's, especially for entry-level roles, there are anywhere from 200 to 300 applicants for one position. That means your student is competing against that type of talent pool. And so the thing I want to make sure that you know as a parent is those are the stats that are up against them. So they've got to nail it. They've got to nail the interview. They've got to have a perfect grammatical, punctuation, error-free resume. These are really, really important things to make sure your student going into the workforce stands out amongst the rest. So you should supervise the job application process. There are things that are going to be asked on a job application that, again, are not intuitive. My son struggled with what's the difference between a personal reference and a professional reference. Well, for a student, a lot of times they have no work history or very little work history. And so on a professional reference, you can certainly use volunteer leaders, for example, a mission leader at your church or an athletic volunteer, those types of roles. In a personal role, those references are referencing your character. So that's probably more of a teacher or a high school counselor, etc. So it's okay to put down professional references. Maybe it's just a neighbor that you did some summer work for. But that is one example of where they can get hung up on how to handle the job application process. The other is the cover letter. So the cover letter is a little bit old school, but if your child is one of 10 who submits a cover letter against the 200 people that apply for this job, it is a unique factor that could certainly help them stand out. The cover letter is designed for an applicant to really speak to the person's character, personality. It allows you in the process to kind of tell your story a little bit, whereas a resume is a snapshot of your student's skills, academic experience, personal experience. So they serve two different purposes, and a cover letter is going to make them stand out. So on the cover letter, you want to make sure in the introductory of the letter that you're speaking to why I want the job. And that's why it's important that your student researches the company, okay? This is why I feel like I'm a culture fit for your company, why I feel like my morals and my values fit your company and the role that you're asking to be done. The body of the letter should really talk to the minimum qualifications of the position and why my qualifications fit the required qualifications. This could be a stopping point for your student, because if you get to this space and the minimum qualifications and the skills you have don't line up, then maybe it's not the job for them. And so this is a time where you might actually rethink it. The last part of a cover letter is you want to make sure that you reiterate your interest in the role and thank them for considering you for the job. Proofread, proofread, proofread. You cannot afford in this job market to have a non-dotted I or a non-crossed T. So definitely help your student, your son or daughter, proofread. The resume. So again, the resume is a snapshot of skills and experience. It is okay to not have work experience, but do not exclude community volunteering, athletic achievements, academic achievements. Always include ACT scores, GPA scores if they're positive. okay? And always at the beginning of a resume, be sure to include your summary of skills and experience. Any type of collegiate or school level activities, FFA, FBLA, FHA, these are just some examples of what schools have to offer. So it's really a bio of your school experience and any work experience that you might have had. Resume, last thing I'll say is proofread, proofread, proofread. Okay, so I'm going to keep preaching that. In the interview, you want to spend a lot of time with your student on this. Practice, practice, practice. You want to practice the introduction. A lot of times, students in this generation struggle with face-to-face communication because we have too much technology at our fingertips. And so they struggle with the handshake, the eye contact, the speaking at a tone that they can be heard, speaking at a tone that protrudes energy versus low energy, right? So you want to walk them through the introduction of themselves to the person that they're interviewing with. You want to make sure that you help them identify what to wear. They want to wear things that are not too loose, not too tight, not too wrinkled, not dirty. And this is something I talked about with my seniors this morning in the class I was in. And I said, I shouldn't have to say this to you, but I'm going to say this to you. Hygiene is important. Brush your hair, brush your teeth, make sure your face does not have breakfast burrito on it from your morning breakfast that you ate before your interview. So be clean, be put together, be presentable. And you as parents and guardians can absolutely help them figure that out. Nonverbals, body language is important in an interview. Sitting up straight, protruding confidence is really important. Eye contact, and again, tone of voice. The last thing, and the one other very unique thing that's going to set your student apart from the other hundreds of applicants in the role, is the thank you note. The most impressive way to share a thank you from an interview is a handwritten thank you note, either on a card or a letter. The next best way is email. The least best way is a text message, okay? So regardless, support your student in remembering to, hey, did you remember to send that thank you note, right? It will help keep an impression in the hiring team's mind of, oh yeah, that was him, or oh yeah, that was her, I remember them. So the thank you note and the cover letter, honestly, are two pieces of the process that can set your student aside from others. They're a little bit old school in their approach, but to a lot of managers, they really stand out and can make a difference. So again, from one parent struggling with this to you as parents who I know are probably struggling some with this, these are just some tips for you. Certainly, if you want to talk it through or have your student give me a call. I do a lot of job coaching and career mentoring in offerings in my service with Step 1 HR, and so I'd be happy to have that conversation. You can reach me at 479-657-0430, or you can reach me at Willa, W-I-L-L-A, at step1hr.com, and please visit our website for all of our services at step1hr.com. Good luck, parents. Have a great day. Bye.